Hey, beautiful people, and happy Monday. So I'm just gonna get right into this topic. All right. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I got to spend time with one of my family members who's a single mom like myself, and is really like muddling through a relationship that came to an end, and it seemed like it was going to be some possible reconciliation. Now it looks like it's back at the same impasse again, where they're going to go their separate ways. And we were having a conversation yesterday, and forgive me, y'all, because being a single mom, just being an adult at this point, you guys know we always have things to be doing, right? So usually when I have moments of quiet, whether I'm in the kitchen cooking or when I'm in the shower, like I know I've podcasted from the shower before, because sometimes that's where I have my most clarity of thought. And then the kitchen is one of those places too, because usually my kids are like up front in the living room and they're either doing work or watching TV or whatever, and I'm in the kitchen just kind of quietly doing my thing, right, burning up these pans. But it's also a time for me. This is kind of like my closet, right? I mean, people talk about going in your closet to pray and to meditate. This is kind of like my closet. And so in the kitchen is where I have a lot of time to just kind of just think. And so yesterday, me and my sister-in-law were having a conversation, and that's me flipping a pancake. And we were talking about relationships, and she just basically said, I just want to try to understand what's wrong with me. I keep getting back to the same thing, and I just can't help but to think that there's something wrong with me. And so I think a lot of us, when we go through things, especially in love and relationships, and when they go awry, one of the questions that we ask ourselves is, what's wrong with me? And sometimes it's even a matter of when things go awry, and it happens multiple times, that thought can come up and kind of drive us, right? And so talking to her yesterday, because you guys know I love analogies, right? So I was thinking of an analogy to try to help her to understand this whole process. And basically I said to her, now here's the thing, nobody's perfect, right? Nobody has any form or semblance of perfection in them. We have our strengths, we also have our weaknesses. We are human beings, we are all flawed in some type of way. And sometimes the flaw is how we pick and choose people, right? And so if we continue to pick and choose the same type of people, yes, that might be a flaw, but that does not make you a bad person. So the analogy that I used yesterday with her was, you have good oil. And that's the lesson for today. You have good oil. You have this good, sweet oil that you want to share with people. It's good oil. Essential oil, if you will, right? And you find somebody that you like, you find somebody that you develop a relationship with, you fall in love with them, and there is a lending of your oil. There is a pouring of your oil into somebody else, whether that is through your kindness, or through your generosity, or through your humor, or through your just being you, your mindfulness, right? Any type of way in which you lend of yourself is pouring into somebody else. And so when we pour into people, I know, like, a lot of times we think that there's going to be reciprocity, right? That we're going to pour into somebody and they can pour into us. And I know a lot of us don't move in the thought that I'm going to do for you just to get something from me. That's not it. But we give of each other, right? And so when we are pouring into somebody that we love, and then they can't receive it, or they don't receive it in the way that we intended it, or they can't hold on to it, it's almost like what I said to her when she was talking about this other person. It's almost like pouring oil into a colander. I'm in the kitchen, right? So walk with me in this right now. It's like pouring good oil into a colander. What do colanders have? They have holes. So what's going to happen to all that good oil? It's going to flow out. No matter how quickly you pour, no matter how slow you pour, no matter if you pour a few drops or if you pour a bucket load, it's going to spill out. That does not make it so that your oil is bad. That makes it so that the vessel in which you poured into was flawed. That vessel has holes in it. That vessel has cracks in it. It can't hold on to the good that you are pouring into it, no matter how much you want to. No matter how much you even realize that they need it. Because you see the holes, you see the cracks, you see the flaws. So you want to pour in. But sometimes they cannot receive it. Sometimes they can't even hold on to it because of their cracks and their flaws. Does that make the oil now rotten? Do you go somewhere else and say, you know what, I'm giving up this oil for half price because this oil is bad oil? No, it's not bad oil. The oil is good. It's good oil. But what vessels are you pouring the oil into? Are you pouring into a whole vessel? Because if you are not, then there's going to be some things that are going to happen. They're going to miss out on some things. They're going to misperceive some things. They might even use some things against you, depending on what it is, right? Because of the holes, because of those cracks, because they're not whole. And so now, you don't start peddling around the fact and telling yourself that I got this nasty oil, this oil is horrible, this is bad oil, it's funky, it's no good. No, that's not the case. But what you might have to think about is, why do you feel the need to pour into something? Especially if it's been shown to you to not be whole. And it's not healthy for you. It's to your detriment. And then you want to continually proceed, or you continually pick the same broken vessels. So I want you to understand that we all have good oil. Sometimes, depending on the person that we're pouring into, they can't receive that oil. And so that does not then negate your oil. It doesn't make your oil bad. It just makes it that they can't receive it. And that's okay. It happens. And they have their journey, their path that they have to tend to. They have healing that they have to tend to. They have things that they have to do to fill in those holes, to seal those cracks, just like we all do. But it doesn't make your oil bad. So that's what I wanted to say today. I hope this finds somebody and somebody receives this message, that this does not slip through the holes in your colander, that it seeps into your understanding, that it lubricates your mind, that it helps you to understand that you are good, you are worthy, you have good oil, you are made of the good stuff. And sometimes we're going to encounter people, even people that we love, even when we want them to get it, we want them to receive it, we want them to feel this oil. And sometimes they just can't. Sometimes they can't. But don't negate the oil. Don't negate the fact that the oil is good oil. So I hope you guys receive this message from my kitchen to your own understanding. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys for being here. And till the next time, we'll be talking. Peace and blessings, you guys.